Hi, I'm Wade Paquin with WKP Construction. On this week's episode here on our Build Show Network channel, I'm on what's called a rescue project. This is a new project to my firm, meaning we're coming in, the previous contractor was fired, and the homeowner has brought us on to bring this thing to the finish line. So on this episode, I really want to talk about two things. One, as the homeowner, what you can do or should be doing to check the credentials of the contractor, the builder that you're hiring to avoid situations like this. And secondly, as the builder coming into a situation like this, things you should be thinking about and putting in place to protect yourself. All right, so a little backstory here on this project. I got a call about 2 weeks ago. It was a Saturday. I could hear the emotion, the stress, the anxiety, the anger, the disappointment, the frustration, all these emotions just on the phone call with the homeowner. They briefed me in on what had been going on here. 18 months the project has been dragging out. It should have been a 6, maybe as much as an 8-month project, but here they are 18 months later. The cabinets had been on site for several months, yet they weren't installed. All sorts of problems. So I came right out an hour after I got the phone call. I walked the job with them. I kind of kept things to myself a little bit, to be honest, because I didn't want to freak them out with the things that I was seeing. But I did tell them that, you know, this is in very rough condition. Things were out of sequence, meaning there's a process of how things get done with renovation, and that process was completely out of whack. Things were being done before something else needed to be finished, and now that area had to be taken apart in order to finish what had preceded it. So things like that. You know, frankly, we don't have the bandwidth to step in and take this on, right? This is a crazy busy market. We have our plate full, but the people are very, very nice. They're in a very difficult position, and with the market being so busy, we were the only ones that called them back. We came out within an hour. I personally, you know, could not see myself not helping them. Meaning it would bother me to know that this project was lingering out there, that these people are in a frantic state of mind to try and get this project finished. So here we are, we're jumping in. I've talked to all my subs and everybody's on board to help these clients bring this project to the finish line. So I'm gonna walk you around. I'm gonna grab the camera here in a second. I'm gonna show you some of the things that were going on here. And then I'm gonna talk about, you know, from the homeowner side, what you should and could be doing to prevent situations like this. And from the builder side, what you should be thinking about coming into a situation like this. So let me grab the camera and I'll take you on a tour. So this is right when you walk in the front door. This is pretty much what you see. This first floor, open floor plan. You know, they've put some big LVL beams in to open up the space down here, but look at the condition that this is in. You walk in the door and you're greeted with wires hanging from the ceiling, not knowing if these are live, not knowing what the heck's going on with these wires. An old gas pipe here that's been in the building for probably, you know, 100+ years. It's not in use, it's disconnected, but, you know, hasn't been removed in 18 months. So let's just stick a rag on it and hope nobody cuts their head open, I guess, right? But here's where the real head scratcher was in the kitchen. They had both base and upper cabinets in place. The chimney that's no longer in use, but the contractor told them that, you know, you can't take it down for some reason. I'm not sure why. This would have been the first thing that I removed with the new HVAC system and not needing this for a flue chase anymore. But they're building the island around it. So we need to evaluate that. But the kitchen, the cabinets were in place before the wall was insulated, before the roughing of the electrical was done, and before the plumbing soffit chase was in place up above. I'll show you that in a second. But look at the condition that the wall is in. The insulation, the wiring, and cabinets were in place here. It baffles me. Up above the plumbing chase, the cabinets went almost to that pipe. So with the cabinets in place, how are you supposed to frame out the soffit and get the board and plaster and corner bead on that properly? You can't. So again, like I said off the top, everything was out of sequence here. That's the main theme. It just continues right through the kitchen with horrible exterior wall conditions between the wiring and the insulation. I mean, there's enough pencil notes on this wall to confuse even Einstein at this point. So you can see what I'm dealing with here. And furthermore, the plumbing, all the waste pipe is back pitched. It's pitched the wrong way in the beginning of the drain on this side. This is back pitched. This is drainage for a bathroom up above that has no vent. It's not wet vented properly, and there's no reason that it shouldn't have been done. So, you know, this is the big issue here in the kitchen that we need to correct. So let me bring you upstairs and I'll show you a couple other head scratching conditions. So I'm up on the second floor now, one of the bathrooms off a bedroom. You can see there's that chimney again. What a nuisance, right? You walk right in and you have to walk around the chimney. Your shoulder and arm will actually hit the chimney as you're walking in here. Again, the chimney does not need to be here, so that could have been avoided. But here's something that really puzzled me. I've never seen a bathroom renovation where the shower is completed before the wall and the ceiling is completed. So you can see here they've got sheetrock up on this little build out here for the shape of the shower with no corner bead, no mud, nothing on it. Same thing over here where the jamb on the wall is. You can see right down the edge, this isn't finished, right? So can this be done? Yes, of course, but it's going to create a ton of unnecessary work in order to achieve results that meet our quality standards, when all of this could have been avoided had this been coordinated sequence-wise to get the wallboard and plaster subcontractor out here to get that taped corner bead, get the plaster on it, get it finished, and then abut and apply the stone to that finished surface so you have nice, clean transitions. So that was an interesting one. I'm going to take you up to the third floor and show you one other condition. So up here on the third floor, this is a finished third floor here on the property, and they've got this little mechanical closet here, and in it is a new Unico HVAC system, right? We love Unico systems. These are great systems, but you can see how filthy and dusty the space is. The insulation on the roof deck behind it is not done properly. And what really made my mind spin here is the line set for the outside condenser is not in place. It's not roughed in. So they've got the unit in place with the supply and return duct, but no line set to connect down here. So now, how are we going to get that line set connected, get it through the floor and the wall, down to the ground level and outside to connect to the condenser? Well, the simple answer is we can't. So now, for two reasons, we have to take this out. All the duct, the equipment, everything needs to come out, fix the insulation, clean this out, get the line set in place, and then reconnect the equipment and the ductwork. Again, all of this unnecessary. So you can see as I take you around the home here, you can see the examples of some of these things that are just so poorly done, out of sequence, and these are just a few examples of many. So as a homeowner, what can you do to avoid a situation like this? The very obvious answer is get to know who you're hiring, right? Check their credentials, check their integrity, check references, take them out to lunch, get to know your builder. You're entering into a little bit of a relationship here, right? Whether it's a 6-month project, 9-month, 12-month, some projects go, you know, upwards of 2 years or sometimes longer. So you're in a relationship with your builder for quite some time. You need to know that you can trust them, that your personalities get along, that you're gonna have a good working relationship with them. But you have to do your homework to make sure you know who you're hiring. Not just, you know, cold calling somebody, you know, after Google searching them, or a friend who said, you know, I know of someone who might be able to help you out, and you call them and just hire them without checking their background, their references. You're setting yourself up for this type of situation. You're setting yourself up for failure. This builder, from what I'm told, never provided a budget or an estimate, was just calling and asking for their credit card when he needed to purchase things or pay bills and subs and so forth. Never provided a schedule, no updates, nothing. These people were out of state. They came up here looking to move into their house this spring to enjoy their summer in Newport, and they walked in and they were horrified. And so now they're in this situation where they're going to have to pay me a premium to come in here and take this project on. You know, we've got a lot going on. Our subs have a lot going on. So to fit them into the schedule and pick up the pieces that someone else left behind, just by that nature alone, you know, they're going to, meaning the homeowner is going to pay more than they normally would. Now this is going to be on top of all the money they've already invested in the property that wasn't put to very good use, right? I think well, I'm not going to say, but they're into this for a significant amount of money when I think the project could have been done in its entirety for that same amount. Now they're going to have to spend another significant amount of money to bring this thing to the finish line. So again, if you're a homeowner, just do your homework, really. You know, there's good builders and bad builders. There's good subs and bad subs. It's really understanding not only the builder's integrity and his reputation, but ask about their subcontractors, who your builder is using for subs, because a very good builder is going to have a very good team, a network of subcontractors around them and with them that roll from job to job and make these projects successful. Now, on the builder side coming into this, right, there's risk. You know, we have to pull new permits, so you have to check, make sure there were permits pulled, get all new permits, building permit, all your major trades, electrical, plumbing, mechanical, and so forth. So get your new permits, come in and have the inspector walk the job to flag anything that's not done properly to code, take photos of everything, I mean literally everything, document everything to the best of your ability. You want a record of absolutely everything before you touch it. And then you need to have your attorney attached to the contract that you're giving to this type of client, that they are going to hold you harmless, or a release of claims, that if this ends up in court and there's litigation against a previous contractor, or something on this project happens 6 months or a year from now, that they're not blaming you for it, right? Because you don't know exactly everything that's been done here, and you don't want that responsibility or that risk. So you need to make sure your clients hold you harmless of anything on that side of things, meaning that you are not going to get sued for the work that you're performing to get them from here to the finish line. So that's really, really important. Secondly, my advice would be, obviously do this only on a cost plus basis, time and material. I told them I don't have time to budget this out. Here's the rates. We're gonna get some numbers from the subs. We'll come in, we'll do it. Here's our fee. We're going to need a significant retainer up front, right? I don't wanna bill you, wait for payment while I'm paying my subs. I don't have the time or the bandwidth, or frankly the interest to do that. So we need a large retainer up front. We'll use those funds to start the project, to pay the bills and subs, and when we start to get down towards maybe a 20% balance, then you need to replenish that, and we'll keep pulling from it until the project's done. So that's how I've structured this, kind of in a nutshell. There's a little more nuts and bolts to everything, but as always with any of my videos, if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me an email or DM me on Instagram. I don't always respond to everything. I try my best, but or you can hop on our website, hit the consulting fee, and set up an appointment and talk to us about any of your project concerns that you may have coming up from any facet of construction or renovation. So if you're a homeowner watching this, I hope you learned a little something. If you're a builder going into a situation like this that maybe you debated taking on and didn't decide to, these can work out. Don't be afraid of them. They can work out. You just have to make sure you have everything in place to protect yourself. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Make sure you're following me on Instagram, WKP_construction, and we'll see you next week right here on The Build Show.